Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Cammie, and I'm Sharon Crandall, and I am a personality manager, and I have done Cammie's personality profile. Today we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to go over some of her traits, not all of them because we don't have time, and usually it takes over an hour to do a whole interpretation of her traits. But each person is born with over 55 traits. Now, I've already done her profile, and she does know quite a bit about it, but I wanted to show you how it works and how it works with how to go over the profiles and the traits so that you can understand them. Let's start talking about the physical trait area. There are 5 trait areas, and one is the physical, one is emotional, one are action versus thinking, the thinking traits, and then there's the automatic expression traits. And the automatic expression traits are if you're quiet, if you're verbal, if you're adventuresome, if you're generous, things like that. So we're going to cover at least the most mood swings, and also the higher scores and the lower scores. Okay, so a little bit about mood swings. It means that when I look at her profile, and this is what it looks like, she will have a score up here or down here or in the middle or somewhere, and the higher the score, the more pronounced the trait, and the lower the score, the more pronounced the trait in the opposite direction. So in the physical area, you are just kind of, I guess, about right in the medium in how you handle the environment. And you're kind of serious-minded, that's on one side. And then also you have, again, about medium-high foot dexterity and so on. All right, so now we're going to go down into another part of that, and that's the light in your eyes is magnetism, and you're high on magnetism. So this is a gift because it helps you to attract people. People are attracted to you, and they will listen to you more. There are 3 action traits, and so one of them is competitive, and you do have some competitive, but you do have a swing. So sometimes you feel more competitive and like you might be threatened by someone trying to put you down or something like that. You might feel kind of competitive. When you have the action part of the brain that is activated, you go for what it is you want. And you are relentless in getting and doing what you set out to do and what you want. So you have a swing on this. It's very significant because when you're on the high side, you're just going great guns, and boy, you're going to get it done, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that, and you're on your way. And then you swing down to the other side, and you swing down to the side that is more thinking. Unfortunately, a lot of times that thinking part is kind of negative, kind of overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? This is harder than I thought, and I see all the problems with this, and I don't know if I can do it, and so you start to doubt yourself. Now, this is a good thing because when you learn how to handle this trait, you can be both aggressive or you can be more reflective and actually analyze better what you're doing and learn how to do it better and easier. So when you're low on this trait, you want to do it the easy way. So that helps you be inventive in how to do things better and easier. And on the other hand, the challenge with this trait is that you get sometimes depression because you don't know what you're doing in one way, and in one way you do, and you feel like you lose your momentum And so you just kind of lose your focus, I guess. And then, so have you found that's true?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll have great ideas and like so much willpower to get everything done. And then I'll realize all the things that are stopping me from doing it. And I'll basically just kind of go, well, it can't be done. So I can't even try anymore.
Traits in the emotional area are kind of, there's two 20 volts and one 20 volts. And a lot of the traits in the emotional trait area are 220 volts. They're powerful traits. So we're going to start with this one, and you have a mood swing on this one. Yes, aren't you lucky? Okay, so there's one side, again, you're ready to go, and you're thinking big, and you're going to open a big chain of stores maybe, or you're going to do this great big thing. And you feel responsible to do it too, like, well, I should be able to do this. It should be just a piece of cake. And so you exact a lot out of yourself. And you tend to kind of take over if other people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, because you think you've got to do it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, then you move over to that other side, and again, it's a doubting side, which you see your problems, okay, and your faults and your shortcomings. And again, that can be good, because sometimes we start out too high in confidence, and we need a brake system to say, wait a minute, you better rethink this, plan it out better. Know what it is you really want. And that's the key with mood swings, is to get to the center of what it is you really want, and then call on one side and then call on the other when you need each one. So you have the ability then to really be great, but you also have the side to be reflective. This also helps you in helping others, because every time you have more than one score on a trait, then that gives you empathy for others, because you actually walk in their moccasins. So that's how it works. Then you have forward ego balance, and so you're pretty aware of what people think of you. And so what we do with this trait is we teach people to find themselves in what they do, and not what other people think, but what you think about yourself, and gauge yourself on your accomplishments and who you really are, and let go of persona. All right, so now another major trait is tolerance, and this is timing of emotional response. It's how quickly you feel that you need to take care of problems. And you have a swing on this.
Yes.
So one side is like, you want people here, you want them on time, you want them to get it done right. On the other side, you're more, hey, it's okay, tomorrow's fine, we're gonna go do a picnic today. And so you can take a picnic when you're in that mood, but in your other mood, it's like, no, we can't do that, we've got to stick to the regimen here.
Yes.
And so, so that's how that works. And again, now, one thing about this trait that's really interesting is that we have what we call self-reproach. This is where we sometimes have regrets, because you make a decision in the laid-back side, and then you flip over to the other side and you say, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. There's one more in the trait of emotionality that is pretty important, and it's going to affect what you do for a living. It's going to affect how you treat your children and other people, but you have a fairly substantial score on acquisitive. That's a need to own and acquire. So even though you do have a sense of the value of time and money, you've got the business nose, and which is neat, because you know the value and quality of things. But you really, whatever is important to you, you want to acquire and own it. Now that can be different things. It can be money, it can be your children, it can be, or both. It just kind of depends on other things, your spirit and other things that kind of enter into our decisions. But you will need to feel like you own something. Or if you give a gift, you will give it that's part of yourself. Mm-hmm. And boy, if then people don't take care of that, you're not happy with that, because you think, well, I did this and I did that, and that was part of me. I gave my heart to this, and all they're doing is just throwing it away.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely want people to know when I give them something that it is a part of my heart and soul, that I put deep thought into it, and I care about what I'm giving them. And I want them to feel that. Yeah.
Also, because of your combination, you probably would be good in real estate or in owning things, because that trait is also helps you to really take care of your belongings. And so would be good at managing things because of both traits. Yeah, really, really good. Okay, so now we have a little bit of unconventional judgment. And so you have enough unconventional stuff about you that you can kind of think out of the box and step out of the box, okay? And then another really important thing is that you're high on humor. And humor is not just ha 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 humor, but humor is the ability to laugh at your stupid things that you do and your mistakes, and that be philosophical about it, and ha ha ha, and it's okay, and you know, and just a little sidelight, a lot of comedians do not have a sense of humor of this kind, because they're not happy people. And I want now to go a little bit to the automatic expression, and you do have a swing on stamina. That's why sometimes you're going really good, and then in other times you feel like you've got to take a nap. Yeah, and so it's kind of back and forth. So you can learn how to listen to your body and kind of know what the best thing is to do and not be guilty about it. And you're a thorough thinking person. You want to have things done in sequence and thorough. You're thorough in your thought process, so you mull over things and so on. You're not way high on analytical itself, but which is probably good because you've got all the other ones. And so this one is going to help you to balance analyticalness with action. And so you will think to a point, and then you want to get it done.
Yes.
And so that's good. All right, now idealism is an interesting trait. You have a balance between idealism, and that means sticking to your ideals and forming the ideal and wanting the ideal and so on, but it's tempered with realism. So that kind of helps you bring you down into the now of what is needed now, and so that's good. And with that too, that balance is a nice place to be. Okay, and you have a swing on whether you want to be out and about and trying new things and on projects and so on, and kind of more at home. And so you can take your pick with that. And but in the one side, you just want to things get old and you want to throw them out. But then you go to the other side and you think, oh my gosh, why did I throw all that stuff out? So it's kind of conserving, and then construction is that particular trait. You have some very good psychic ability, intuition, and telepathy. Not as much intuition as telepathy and psychic. And so you just can kind of tell, you get feelings a lot about people, what they're about to do or what they're doing, and so on and so forth. The last trait that we're going to do today is interest, and you are between things and information. So you want to, information is you want to do things like this, you know, and tell people and impart information to them. And so that makes you want to teach in some way, in some method or way. You want to help people. So that is a very short interpretation of your profile. Okay? So I would like to, since you have lived with your traits for a little while, I would like to hear from you what was really interesting to you and what changed your thinking about yourself, or anything that you feel that you have gotten from this.
Okay, one of the biggest things was in the emotionality part, where I can go from going to a picnic to having everything be absolutely perfect.
Okay.
I've noticed I do that a lot. And so for me, you telling me how to, that I have both of these sides, because I'm like, I don't understand that I can let everything go for so long, and then all of a sudden I snap. So for me, it's been good that I've been able to step back and say, it's okay. If I decide that it's okay that the kids do crafts and there's craft stuff from ceiling to floor, I can't get angry at them for that. I have to step back and decide beforehand that I'm not going to be mad after the fact, and give myself a time limit as to when it needs to be cleaned up and taken care of before I get to snapping point.
And that is a perfect example of the whole purpose of personality science, is to help people understand why they think the way that they do, and ways to overcome that. And that's so great. And you know, I have to tell you that, to me, when a person changes like that, that takes courage, and I think that's real courage that a lot of people overlook. They don't realize that when someone changes their life like that, it's profound. It affects not only you, but your family and others that you work with, and because you know that you're in one mood or the other, and then you can decide which one you want.
Absolutely, and it wasn't fair to my kids or anybody around me that they were like, well, wait, 10 minutes ago you were fine with the mess
Yes.
and we can watch a movie, but now you're freaking out and want the house perfect, and we can't do anything. So it's been good to have a better relationship with them, and to explain to them, I'm getting close to my snapping point, guys. Like, let's just get this done so we can move on. So that's been good.
That's great. Okay. So this is what can be done when you have your profile done. And it's a wonderful thing. It's changed my life. It's changed many people's lives.